Hello, everyone. It's 9:45 on Friday. I'm TK, and this is Coach on the Rocks. Lovely seeing you, and thank you for coming in. It's hopefully been a wonderful week, and hopefully have a good Friday. So today, as every Friday, there's a release of our new podcast episode, Leading with Agility, found on your favorite podcast player. And we're speaking to the wonderful Rebecca Smart. And the conversation is about coaching as a leader. So the main question is, can a leader be a coach, and how to do it best, how to be a leader coach? But I'm going to maybe go back to the initial question, can a leader be a coach? Because it's quite controversial. And I can start with an answer, which is yes, but it's difficult. I think there are many forces pushing against a leader being a coach. And, if you work in L&D, if you work in HR, and you have leaders asking for coach training because they believe that they want to be coaches and this is how they want to develop their leadership style, something that you might want to listen to this and the episode itself. So what pushes against you being a coach as a leader is, first of all, they're very different roles, right? Can a leader be a football player? Can a leader be a cyclist? Yes. But can they do that in the same context? Well, that's difficult, right? A leader can definitely be a coach, but if you're a coach to the person that reports to you, this is, I would say, quite extremely difficult. Because as a coach, you are there to support your client, and the client is the protagonist. The client drives the agenda. The client is there to achieve, and you believe that they have all the necessary resources, all the necessary talents for them to achieve what they want to achieve. And I do believe they do. Most people really do, and they're just hiding it from themselves. But as a leader, it's obviously different. As a leader, you're there to drive the agenda. You're there to drive the culture. You are there to, unfortunately, assess. You are there to give advice if the person wants it. You are there to sometimes direct. Sometimes be the one that gives a bit of a push. Completely different attitudes. And yes, you can say that as a leader, you're in a coaching session, so you put in the coaching hat. But you can never take the leader hat off. Not in the eyes of the person you lead. Because it's inextricably tied to you. You could say that you can obviously coach people that don't report to you, but if you're a very senior leader, people will still feel you have the influence to do that. There's the coaching leadership style, obviously. And, that's something that's real, and that's something that can work, using the coaching skills, using the coaching style to make sure that you help people grow, and this is how you exert your leadership. But in effect, you are a leader with a coaching style, not a coach with a leadership style. It's completely different. I would say definitely getting into coaching is something that, can help as a leader. But also what we talked about with Rebecca quite a lot is there is a difference between just, having coaching skills, having a coaching conversation, and being a professional coach. Someone that's properly trained, recognized, and accredited to be the coach, because there's so many people calling themselves coaches and they're using coaching skills. They can do amazing work, but the question is, what kind of coaches are they? And is it what you expect? There's such a huge misunderstanding about what coaching is, right? I'm a member and an ICF accredited coach, and I subscribe to this particular definition. There's other definitions across the world. But when I'm doing coaching, there's always the professional standards of ICF, the code of ethics, everything associated with it. So it means that when you're carrying a badge, there's a certain way about it. Thankfully, there's a globally recognized body that can help that. But it doesn't mean that, as a leader, you can't learn how to ask powerful questions, how to use coaching skills, and have a more coaching style of leadership. But being a leader and a professional coach at the same time is extremely tricky. Not something that I would suggest to do. It's possible. I'm sure you let me know in the comments and messages how you've succeeded. But I would think that maybe what people that look up to you actually need is you being a leader more than being a coach. It's important not to absolve this responsibility. Don't step back from it because this is what people need. And they will still do so. I remember I had a situation, I think I talked about it on the podcast, where I worked with someone. I've been their line manager for years. And then I left the company. They left the company. We've met years later, and she wanted some coaching. And yet, even though we were in different organizations, we've met like socially, went out and so on. Actually, we are friends. When they wanted coaching and I came in as a coach, it's something they expected. We never had more than the first session. It's just my style as a coach and my style as a leader was just so different to them. But then again, even in this situation, it didn't really work out. Take my word for it, take my example, and make your decision. And also listen to what Rebecca thinks in the episode of Leading with Agility that you can find on your favorite podcast player, on any podcast player actually. We're publishing to, again, the great majority of them. And when it comes to this wonderful show, The Coach on the Rocks, as always, I'll see you on Monday at 9:45 here for you to have a conversation with me again and me with you. Have a nice one. Have a great weekend. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.